Hello and welcome back to my channel, and welcome back to another TBR challenge, catch up, wrap up, whatever you want to call it. This is going to be the last time that I catch up about this challenge that I'm doing with Olivia until we do a live show in January. And essentially, for those of you who are new here, because thanks to Gothtober there are loads of new people here, so just to quickly tell you what is happening. Essentially, Olivia from Olivia's Catastrophe, who you will know from Gothtober, and a bunch of other things that we've done together because I love her so very much, we challenged each other to try and clear as many books from our TBR this year as possible. And essentially, any book that we added to our TBR counted as a point. Any book that we read, DNF'd or unhauled counted as a minus point. If you can hear that, that is my flatmate's cat crying because his brother is outside and he's not, and he's sad about it. But he's not allowed outside yet. Anyway, when we first started this, I was very competitive. I came in guns blazing, and I have been humbled. I have been humbled this year. But I can say that as it stands, as I'm recording this clip, I am officially 20 books ahead of Olivia, and I'm going to go through my stats a little bit in a sec, but I just thought I would quickly clarify how I'm feeling about that, because one of the first catch-ups we did in person, which was great, but so very, very competitive, because I was 40 books behind Olivia, and currently I am 20 books ahead, which means that I've just managed to unhaul or read 20 books more than Olivia has taken onto her TBR. Not that I've actually read more than she has, because I haven't, or that I've unhauled as much as she has, because I haven't. I've just been able to do it more consistently to get ahead in previous months. Now, the last catch-up we did, I made sure that it was balanced at 0. But for those of you who aren't necessarily familiar with publishing and how publishing works, obviously books are produced all year round. However, there is obviously the London Book Fair and things like that towards this kind of season, like summer season, where publishers send out loads of ARC copies, and I think that is pretty much what scuppered Olivia. And I don't have that problem because I don't receive many ARCs. The only people that I get ARCs from are Canongate, which are fantastic if you're looking for disability rep, BIPOC rep and LGBT. Their books are just absolutely stunning, will make you cry, will make you think, very cognitive, cerebral books, beautiful, literary, chef's kiss. And then the other company that I get ARCs from is Hodder and Hodderscape, which is great because they are my favourite publisher when it comes to fantasy. Again, a great BIPOC, LGBT and disability rep, but really fun, engaging stories, stunning covers. Like, you will have seen their books in like Fairy Loot and Illumicrate for a reason. They're fucking great. So those are the only two companies that I get ARCs from, whereas Olivia gets them from a whole bunch of different places. So I think that has probably scuppered them, and I am humbled because I don't think I'm ahead because of anything that I've done. Although, having looked at my stats for like the overall year, I think there is one thing in particular that has really helped me, and that is I've really come to understand what I'm in the mood for when it comes to reading. So I obviously set a TBR every month, but I have kind of worked out this year for myself that if I set myself a nice chunky TBR of like 20 or 30 books, I will read at least half of them because I will mood read my way through, and I find it a lot easier to navigate those 30 books than I do the 200-300 that I had already. Now, when I started this, I had nearly 400 books on my own TBR, and I am now down to like 250. Which is fantastic. I'm genuinely like really pleased because that to me seems like a far more reasonable number. It still takes up an entire like Billy bookcase. Like, I'm pointing at this, like you can see the whole thing, but like a full floor to ceiling bookcase. But it is at the moment just that one bookcase, and then a few sequels that are with series or graphic novels. Yeah, so it's just easier for me to manage the fact that it's all in this one place. I have been reading a lot spookier books this year. I have been reading a kind of wider variety. I've been reading a lot of classic retellings. So I feel like I've cleared quite a few books because of the challenges that I've set myself and the vlogs that I've set myself. That's not going to be the case next year. I'm not looking to do that. Olivia and I have another challenge that we're looking to do, but I'm not entirely sure how it's going to work now, or if it's actually going to be a challenge or just a collaboration. But we will definitely be collaborating again in the future because thankfully our friendship has not died yet. I know I keep threatening it, but it hasn't died yet. So yeah, I'm gonna cut to the clip that Olivia is gonna be sending me here, and I'm probably not gonna be as humbled as I sound in my clip to them as I do here. Here I am sitting, I'm enjoying a cup of tea, it's a Sunday morning, I'm relaxed, and I'm in a really good place. Like reading wise, I'm just in a really good place. I feel like I've been burning through a lot more books recently. Gothtober definitely helped. Spookoplathon by Becca was fantastic. I'm really looking forward to doing Gerbitathon again next year because that's a year-long thing, and I think that has also really helped my reading. But also DNFing like a trooper, like DNFing and unhauling books that I'm just not in the mood for. And like I said, when I come to the stats in a sec, I will go through why I think that is the thing that has really helped me. But for now, I'm just going to cut to the clip with Olivia.
Hi Hannah, this is my section for your video, and I know that you are currently ahead of me, but I'm still going to give you a run for your money all the way to the end of the year. I know I've been talking about how I'm a bit TBR challenge tired and exhausted. Well, you know what? I had my rest, I had my break in October, and I'm putting back on my game face because it's time to bring the game to you. In November, I will be doing a 30 books in 30 days challenge, and hopefully that will bring me a bit more up to speed with you again. I'm even secretly hoping to read more than 30 books if I possibly can. And well, that's all I'm going to tell you. Other than that, December, my lips are sealed. I'm not showing you an inch of what I've got planned for that last month of the year. I hope that you'll continue to be too busy to do too much reading, and I'll see you in January for the live show where all shall be revealed.
Okay, so my stats, I will run through them and then I will kind of like catch up a little bit. In total, the books that I have bought this year total to 108 books, which that's nearly 2 books a week over a year, and it's not even the end of the year yet. It doesn't sound like a lot when I say like 2 books. That's a lot of books. 100 books is a lot of books, of which those books I have read 18. So they basically go from being 108 points to like, or of those 108 books, 18 of them get to go to 0 because I've hauled them and read them. So they equate to nothing. Girl math. Of those 108, I have unhauled 11. Which means that I've either tried them and DNF'd them or I've changed my mind. There's been a couple of books recently where I have bought sequels to books that I wanted to try this year, and then I haven't liked the first book, so I've unhauled the sequel as well. So I've either read and unhauled the first one, or I've just read the first one and unhauled the sequel. I'm not going to get into which books those are because I don't want to have a conversation about it. They're books that I'm genuinely really disappointed I didn't like because I was so convinced I was going to like them. I bought the sequel. So the maths of that means that I have 79 books that I have bought this year that I have not read. Most of which, I would guarantee at least 40% of those are manga and graphic novels, which I keep telling myself I'm going to read at the end of the year. Haven't, won't, probably won't. So that number I don't see changing anytime soon. I will say that of books that I previously owned, I have DNF'd and unhauled 10 of them. So books that I've tried, which is not normal for me. I normally DNF and unhaul far more rapidly than that, and I don't know if it's just the books that I'm trying, I'm being more selective, but I think the thing that will clear this up is just how many I've unhauled without trying. So I have read, of the books that I owned previously, 68. Now 68 books of what was a 400 book TBR, it doesn't sound like a lot at all. Like, it's barely even a third. And I do feel like I need to be reading more books that I already owned, which is a little disconcerting, especially seeing as I bought 100 more. But it kind of balances out that I am reading at least 70% of the books that I'm buying in a year. So I feel like I'm replacing it at what should be a decent pace. Anyway, but this is the thing that I wanted to explain, and the thing that I think has definitely helped me get ahead of Olivia is I have unhauled without trying 121 books. 121 books that either were books that were given to me ages ago or hauled to me ages ago, or that were TBR vets that I really thought I was going to give a go, or just didn't think I was going to enjoy anymore. I think my reading taste over the last year has changed. It will continue to change because it's mood driven more now than it ever has been. I'm obviously working more than I ever have been. I've got loads more things going on, etc., etc. So there's loads going on there. But there's 121 books that I just noped out of. I know a few of them were things where I'd taken on books from Olivia and then I'd seen Olivia didn't like them, so I unhauled them, or I saw that other content creators that I trust didn't like them, so I unhauled them. And I really took in other people's opinions in reviews for a lot of those books, and others I just wasn't in the mood for. I know of which about 6 of them were part of a series where I had bought the whole series a couple of years ago in an attempt to reread and then just chose not to. There's quite a few like that, where they were technically on my TBR, but they were big series, or they were authors that I had tried and didn't like, and they weren't necessarily authors that I was interested in giving a second chance, just because I still have 250 books on my TBR. So I don't feel bad. I don't feel bad about getting rid of so many books. And I know that there's like a lot of discourse about unhauling and hauling books. What I will say is that the books that I unhaul go to 2 places. They either, if they are YA or middle grades, or just generally suitable for a younger audience, because like they don't necessarily have to be kids' books to be suitable, I will give them back to the school that I used to teach at. So they have a library there, and I'm really good friends with the librarian. She is fantastic, and she always really encourages like diverse reading. So if I have a book and there's nothing wrong with it, I just didn't like it, or if it's very YA, or if, I mean, even if I'm just unhauling it in general, and it's suitable for those age ranges up to 16, I will give it to her for free, and she gets those books for free for the school, because I loved working at that school. It's a really nice school, and I think the kids deserve it first and foremost. They deserve some free books. They're always in good nick. I never give away anything that I think is falling apart. Yeah, so they go there. And then the other place that I unhaul to is a local coffee shop, which has a swap shop. And that's where the adult books go to. So of those 121 books, I can say that at least 80% of them went to the school, and the other 20% went to this swap shop where people can help themselves in a coffee shop. And it's just, they're not having to pay for them. I'm not going to get any money for them. I've already read them. I'm not interested in keeping them, or I haven't read them in this instance, because obviously books that I've read and unhauled, like, they go to the same place. So I actively try to keep down how many books I keep. A couple of years ago, I read like 300 books in a year. It wasn't quite, it was like 220 books in a year, and I had a target of 300 books. That's why I'm thinking that. I kept 40 of them. Like, I don't keep many books that I read unless I think I'm going to reread them again, or I'm going to use them regularly in content. So I know that it feels really wasteful if I don't then find somewhere good to put them afterwards. So my roundabout way of saying this is that I am now officially, at the end of the year, in minus points of 120, which, considering in Feb and March I was plus 40, I'm really proud of. I think this has been a really interesting challenge, and something that I'm really tempted to continue as a mentality thing, even if it's not like an actual challenge next year, but making sure that I try and replace books rather than just keep hauling them or unhauling them willy-nilly, etc. I will say, though, that I am very stressed thinking about December. December's going to be really interesting. So Olivia and I are not updating the spreadsheet that we've been keeping track of our books, etc. We're not updating that until the 1st of January, until we do the live show where we do a live kind of reveal of who won. I don't think we're doing it on the 1st either. We're going to do it in a couple of days later, because Olivia has plans. I don't. I have 0 plans for New Year's Eve, but that's fine. So after November, I am not going to know whether Olivia is able to steal ahead. I would not be surprised. I don't think it would be difficult at this moment right now for Olivia to find 20 books that she's not interested in trying. I don't think that would be difficult for her at all. So I have to be very, very careful. I don't really want to buy myself any more books between now and Christmas anyway, because my Amazon wishlist is open. Last year, loads of people gifted me books, which was really lovely. And I love, like, there's quite a few on the Amazon ones that I can't get from my distributor or through my bookshop. So that's always like a really nice thing. And I don't want to turn people away from doing that, but I have to be very, very careful, because the ones that we counted for last year did not count towards the thing, but this year they might. I don't know. I haven't discussed that with Olivia, but I'm actively not buying myself any books because I don't expect, but I'm assuming, I guess it is a kind of expectation. I'm expecting that people will gift me books again this year because they did last year, and I will be gifting them books. And it's that kind of like, it feels really weird to be like, I'm expecting people to buy me books. Like, people should buy me books. Like, you don't have to. You absolutely don't have to. I like gift giving. I like sending books out. I don't expect one in return, but I'm expecting to get some books from people because they bought me books last year. So if they don't, they don't. That's fine. But yeah, so I won't be buying myself any more books, but I don't know which books I now want to unhaul because there's quite a few left that I have for specific vlogs that I want to read next year, or just books that I want to try, authors I want to try, or books that I've heard really good things about. So there's a real mix of books on my TBR left that I don't think I'm going to want to get clear of, but maybe if there's been 2 separate occasions when I've considered doing a reading weekend where I just read graphic novels, and both times something has gone horribly wrong, and I think that is what's putting me off just doing it and just like ripping the band-aid off and just reading loads of different graphic novels and manga. So that's why I haven't done that yet. But anyway, I'm done rambling. This video is already way longer than I expected it to be because I've just continued to talk at you, so apologies. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope you've enjoyed your reading year. I hope you're having a good reading year. Tell me the last book that you unhauled, and tell me the last book that you hauled in the comments down below. If you just want to let me know you were here, feel free to leave a little wave emoji or a little heart or something. Treat yourself to something from Waypoint because it supports me and my content, and obviously it's a great time to be gifting people stuff at Christmas. We do have wish lists on there as well. And other than that, have a nice day.